So how do you get access to slides? First off, you have to have a Google account. If you don't, very easy to create a Google account. I'll go through that very briefly on the way through. Once you've got your Google account, there's two ways to access Google Slides: from a browser, any browser on any device that will support a browser, or via a smartphone tablet by downloading the app. As with the other Google apps, the app version on your smartphone or tablet accesses the same data, but it looks different, and there's some things you can only do from the browser, so we will be using the browser today for the class. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and switch browsers, speaking of browsers, and I've just opened up my Firefox browser to an empty tab, and we're going to enter google.com. So if you don't have a Google account, on the screen you'll have the option to sign up. After you click sign up, it'll bring up the account creation screen, fill it out to create your account. Then there'll be a sign in. If you aren't currently signed in, click the sign in, enter your Gmail account, Gmail address, and your password to sign into Google. Once you're signed into Google, your screen will look like mine. In the upper right, it'll have a circle with either your picture or initials, depending on whether you provided a picture. This will show you the account you're logged in under. You can have more than one Google account. You can be logged into more than one Google account and switch back and forth between accounts if you want to. But this will show you the one you're currently logged into. And the icon right beside it, often called the waffle because it looks a bit like a round waffle, is the Google Apps icon. Click that to see all the apps that you can access with your free Google account. And we're looking for slides. Yours may not be in exactly the same place, because you can move these around just like you can apps on your phone. But this is the one you're looking for. It says slides, and it has that yellow icon on it. So we'll click that, and it will take us to the Google Slides homepage. There's two ways to start a presentation slide deck. You can start with a blank presentation, or you can start with a template. We're going to start with a blank presentation. And it brings up a blank presentation. However, slides is different than sheets or the other Google apps, in that usually there's not much else you can do besides just start from scratch. With slides, there's things you can do that are kind of like templates. You're sort of building a template yourself. And so I'm going to talk about those first. So we'll start with a blank presentation. But the first thing you can do is to pick the layout you want for the slide. It defaults to the title, since the first slide is usually the title slide. But you can click layout here and select any one of a lot of other layouts. So for example, this is the one most people use for most of the slides in the middle of the slide deck. But you could select one that has a title and 2 columns to put information. If you want to have some subtitles, you can add a subtitle. But lots of different layouts available to select to start your slide. I'm going to change it back to the one that I use the most. The next thing you can do is to change the background. By default, it's just a white background, but this icon allows you to change the background. You can just change it to a different color. So if you want to have a blue background, you can change the background to a different color. You can have a color, but you can, instead of being solid, you can have it be a gradient. This is a little harder to see, but you can kind of see that there's different colors. It's brighter in the center. You can see better over here than you can over here. So it's not just a solid color, it has gradients of the color. So that's the gradient. And you can even choose an image if you want to go with a picture for the background. Let's go grab something off my computer. Oh. That's a little, sometimes depending on the size of the picture, you probably need to crop it. That one's scrunched down a little bit, but you get the idea. So you can have a picture be the background, and then now you're putting your information over that. So a number of different ways you can change your backgrounds. I'm going to reset this back to the default. And then the next thing you can do is to pick a theme. And if I click here, it'll open up this bar, which is already open, but I'll open it up from scratch. And themes are confused with templates. The difference between a theme and a template is a theme just has formatting information. There's no sample text and fonts and things. But you can see there's several different themes. So if I select this one, it's just flip-flops. It's white on black instead of black on white. You can go to one that has some markings on it and lots of different variations. So when you're getting ready to start your presentation, you can flip through here and pick different themes that you might want to use.
The fonts are different in different themes, aren't they?
They do have, a lot of them do have different fonts, yes.
Okay, thank you.
So it's fonts, it's fonts, format, and colors, and then plus with images and things as well. And they do look different depending on what the layout is. Let me like go to the home page. You actually see the layout a little better than you can if the layout is one of those pages where you're just entering information. It has this little thing here that kind of adds to it, but we change the back, change the layout. Be one of the ones where you can see these changes better. So lots of different themes here that you can pick. Questions about those basic things you can do just within a presentation?
Wade?
Uh-huh.
You were mentioning it at first when you picked the, I forget whether it was format or the ones where you pick whether you want a title page or a text page, whatever. Yeah, the layout. Okay. On the layout, is there something that has the grid like all the folks that Get Set Up use for their introductory outline, where you say this class will cover yada yada yada, and you have the 4-line grid or whatever it is? Is there a layout for that, or is that something that you created over at Get Set Up?
That's something that I think we created, that our people there created, and you can modify these layouts and themes yourself.